Peace, love, and zen, everyone. Welcome back to another Celebrities versus Industry video. Shout out to Christopher B for suggesting a breakdown on J. Cole. I really like J. Cole's music and artistry, but today we have to separate the art from the artist, for he is not immune to the wicked ways of the music industry. We already broke down some of his songs and exposing lyrics. You probably missed part 2, but don't worry if you missed it. We're going to get into a lot more today. So let's start off with some symbolism. We've already touched base on some basic symbolism from previous videos that many celebrities have been caught doing at least once throughout their career. For starters, we have the one-eye symbolism, also known as Eye of Providence, Eye of Ra/Horus. There's many different names, but nonetheless, it's one of the most common signs celebrities use to show their allegiance. The following is a video of Blac Chyna's mom talking about some of these signs and symbols.
Man, all I'm doing this old shit, sneaky too. They be like this, off the sneaky. They hold curtains in front of them. Man, and then they think it's cute.
J. Cole is one of those low-key artists that really doesn't do much. He likes to stay to himself. However, once you get involved within these higher groups, you are not safe from the checklist. J. Cole just masks it better than others, but the symbolism is still there. Some might say that I'm reaching with some of these pictures, but like I said, they all are going to be caught at least once doing these signs, intentional or not. Moving on to the sign of horns, his album cover from Born a Sinner has a little horned creature on the front. Along with the album's promotion, you got your 666 hand sign and Eye of Providence hand sign along with his buddy/mentor Jay-Z. You would think J. Cole got wrapped up within the evil industry once he signed with Jay-Z's label Roc Nation in 2009. However, in Cole's 2003 song Can I Bust, he admits to already selling out at 18 years old. You can tell he was young when he wrote this because he's under some false impression that he can somehow steal or get his soul back. In my opinion, he sold out before linking with Jay-Z because he already knew the offer was going to come down the line, for they always do. And it's up to the artist to decide if they're going to trust themselves and allow their talents to really speak for itself, or take the faster way and sell out. When J. Cole moved to New York, it's rumored that he waited outside one of Jay-Z's studio sessions or something for 3 hours in hopes he would take his first mixtape. That didn't happen until his second mixtape, The Warm-Up, which Jay-Z heard and eventually signed him. If you know, then you know Jay-Z and his label is known for some shady actions. Now that Jay-Z has made it to a higher ranking, his job is to recruit and get as many lower ranking puppets to continue his old dirty work as he moves on to more dirty work. J. Cole, like most young rappers, admired Jay-Z, saying, quote, "He always thought of Jay-Z as a mythical figure in the realm of music," end quote. However, once the money, fame, women, and men dies down, then these artists are left competing with each other on who can gain the most influence over the blinded masses. It's really the blind leading the blind to damnation, an old tactic used by the devil. He knows his fate is to be destroyed in the end, so he wants to take as many souls with him as possible. Basically like a "if I can't have it, then no one can" type of thing. Here he is seen in the symbolic all red, another major symbol. We can break that down in a separate video if y'all want, but moving on to the Illuminati. 10 years later, Cole is still fighting for his soul back. He says, according to the preacher man, he needs Jesus in him, but the devil run the TV, so the demon's in him. I'm in trouble. Did a deal with the devil, now I'm pleading with him, like, give me my soul. What was once hype is now regret and desperation. This proves that selling your soul is no game. It's real and it's not worth it. To understand the weight of selling one's soul, you have to be open/aware of spiritual influence and the spiritual warfare that's going on. Famous or not, we all experience spiritual warfare. But for those who give themselves over to these demons, it's a lot more intensified because you use your free will to invite these demonic forces into your life versus them trying to naturally mess with you because they know you're loved by God. The Bible says in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of the dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." Meaning the enemies we have is beyond the body vessel we see. It's deeper than that. and it runs in the spirit of that vessel, which sometimes can be possessed and manipulated, causing the outward vessel to appear as the enemy when it's really not. Here is this video I found on TikTok that hopefully explains it a little bit better.
Once again, I want to bring us back to how they do what they do. When I say they, I'm now speaking about the TLS organization. How do you stop these things? It's great to say we're stopping it. Is it physical? You said many times it's spiritually oriented. How do you stop an induced natural disaster? Better yet, how did you stop what was supposed to hit New York and Boston?
I'll answer you in a different way. Most of the methods that we at TLS are using is spiritual. 10% is physical. Obviously, you need physical with the spiritual. I'll give you another example. An explosion of lava. How do you stop that? You use spiritual methods that I cannot discuss here to... You are able to stop it if you know in advance that it's about to happen. Can you stop the explosion of the mountain? Yes. Even if it's a natural occurrence, you could stop it.
How?
Let's assume you're going to join me on a mission, and you're going to watch me from the side of what I am doing, or the team is doing. To you, it's going to be perceived as prayer. To you, it's going to be perceived as energy work. But most likely as a prayer. It's not. It just looks like that. It's knowing how to use energies from human beings and from the core of the earth and the earth in general. You got to know how to take this energy. These energies are extremely, extremely powerful, but it becomes more powerful when you know how to put them together. And then you could basically stop almost everything. Everything that happens was planned in advance.
I ain't ever letting you go again. Please give me my soul. I ain't ever letting go. But the devil don't play fair. I'm about to go and join the Illuminati. F everybody. J. Cole is telling you how he was tricked by the king of lies, by the spirit that got into these managers and record executives that then lied to him. They know these artists come to them with genuine dreams, and they take advantage of that by making false promises with sinister contracts. Again, this is not a new thing. If Satan was the angel of music in heaven, why wouldn't he use the old craft to destroy God's children today? Many people are blinded or do not want to understand the reality of this world, and that's what the elites are banking on, you not wanting to wake up. In J. Cole's case, all he needed was someone to believe in him. He didn't even read the contract. The mountain of papers in front of him included multiple copies of a record deal that I never actually read. The associate pointed out the area on each page that needed my signature, and when all the copies were signed, IB and I probably dapped each other up and said, "Alright, my dog, let's get it." With empty pockets, we hopped in the dented black Honda Civic and slid down the Lower East Side. Either way, he didn't even read it, bro. Keep on asking me about the Illuminati. Is you stupid, young black millionaire, old white billionaires? I'm sure they can do without me, and I ain't really into sacrificing human bodies. In my opinion, I agree with J. Cole. He probably isn't in the Illuminati because that's really 13 higher powers and families, but rather he's probably more so like a Freemason. In some cases, celebrities can still have fame but not participate in all the intense rituals. All they would have to do in exchange is keep quiet about what they know goes on. J. Cole admits that he isn't into sacrificing anyone like most have, but as a Freemason, secrecy, trust, and abiding by the oath is crucial, and I mean life or death. Even though he might not be telling about what other people are doing, he's most likely definitely not talking about what he's doing. In the Bible, it talks about occult practices, saying, "When you enter the land the Lord your God is giving you, do not learn to imitate the detestable ways of the nations there. Let no one be found among you who sacrifices their son or daughter in the fire, who practices divination or sorcery, interprets omens, engages in witchcraft, or casts spells, or who is a medium or spiritist, or who consults the dead. Anyone who does these things is detestable to the Lord. Because of these same detestable practices, the Lord your God will drive out those nations before you." If this doesn't prove anything, you just probably don't want to believe, or you aren't ready to. There are ancient texts aside from the Bible that speak about these practices and how real they are. It really isn't too far-fetched. If you're watching movies about superpowers, witchcraft, sorcery, any of that, then you have to know it does not just stop at the movie. Please be aware of what you allow to entertain you. Whack 100 talked about XXXTentacion and how he was a sacrifice, and he warns people not to overlook his story. Even his old best friend, Ski Master Slump God, admits the reason why he started to pull away from X was because he was trying to sacrifice him. X made a deal that he could not uphold and eventually got his own soul taken instead. Alright, now let's break down some more symbolism in J. Cole's ATM music video. It starts off with a group of kids flying behind J. Cole as he taunts them with this dollar, and as you can see in their face, they're hypnotized or just like possessed over this money. Then it cuts to the scene of J. Cole in a straight jacket tied around this money wall. He's wearing the symbolic red, white, and black. He's just kind of acting like a nut here. Then it moves on to the Masonic checkerboard that represents mind control. It represents the chessboard, the playing of the games, yeah. Then we see another group of people hypnotized by this money, which basically represents, us everyday people. We're impressed by their flashy glamour and their cars and all this stuff. And it really just makes us, we be looking bugged out like this over these celebrities. Here he's starting to show the slow up of the money, and now he got to do something quick, do something drastic to keep up with the lifestyle that he's been living. He got the car, but like the devil is the king of lies and trickery, he now runs out of fuel chasing that money and is about to crash to his damnation. All for what? For nothing really, but it was for the earthly fame, fortune, and recognition that he can't even take with him in the afterlife. And the devil's so evil that he just floats the dollar right there on his chest, like evil. He tells you to choose wisely because this is real. This is what he goes through. This is what many artists go through, and they put these messages out there for you to either grasp, ignore, or stay asleep and think it's creative art.
Say, for example, Love Yours. You told a story about, a billionaire, and a billionaire can have all the money in the world, but could be miserable as fuck, basically. Right. And you talked about, now I'm on the other side. I've experienced this. I got the money. It ain't all what it worked out to be. What was your experience like when you finally start making money?
I ain't really got an answer for that because it doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah.
I don't have no cool answer for you because I was never like gassed, like, oh, look how we getting this. I don't come from that world.
Yeah.
I don't come from that world where I just can't wait to get money and stunt and show you that I got money and make a video on Instagram holding and talking to the money. That's not. That's
not
like
gonna put the stack on your ear.
Nah, I see that's like the cool thing right now, but that's not cool. That's never been cool to me. Like if it's cool to you, do it. But I just noticed that some of these people that got everything that we think we want, deep down they're not happy, which I could relate to because I went through that period where it's like I had all these blessings, but the happiness wasn't there.
So, to wrap this up, I hope y'all have a better idea and understanding of what's going on in our shared world, even outside the music industry. Get ready, because no one is immune to the spiritual warfare that's going on around us. It's inevitable. Take time to conduct your own research and align these things with the reality you live. I'm sure you will find whatever it is you're looking for, and I continue to pray for the salvation of these celebrities and also for those who watch. I pray y'all are blessed and safe and continue to grow in knowledge and wisdom. We all have so much more power than we like to admit to ourselves. Honestly, we do. So with that being said, thank y'all as always. Peace, love, and Zen, and I'm out.